Growing up in a small town, Chris Kirchner didn't come from wealth or privilege. After high school, Kirchner took up a degree in marketing and communications at the University of Kentucky, but left in 2009 before graduating. He then launched Kirchner Entertainment, an advertising and entertainment venture, but it struggled, prompting him to work for Best Buy, where he stayed until 2015. Kirchner would later go on to meet Raj Patel at Turner Labels, where she was a vendor working on the Einstein AI tool. The two recognized that AI technology could be applied to the logistics sector, which was notoriously slow and inefficient. This led them to found Slink.io, with Kirchner as CEO and Patel as CTO. Together, they aimed to build a system that could streamline the shipping process by connecting all the relevant data in one place. Slink was self-funded for 3 years before raising venture capital. After relocating to San Francisco, the company attracted major freighters like Kine and Nagel and DHL, receiving an $11 million Series A investment in April 2020. The company's prospects seemed bright, with investors and customers impressed by its potential to revolutionize the shipping sector. In the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, it appeared poised to capitalize on the increased demand for shipping solutions. But before this, in January 2019, Slink hired Tom Robelski, a well-paid consultant, to be its chief strategy officer. Kirchner promised him a generous salary, but after joining the company, Robelski's pay was drastically reduced. Robelski wasn't the only one who complained about this. Payments were delayed to employees in August and September 2019, and Slink did not pay employees in the 3 months leading up to the Series A funding round. In addition, Slink was sued by the industry publication FreightWaves, which claimed it was owed almost $400,000 for an event sponsorship that went unpaid. While the parties settled, Slink claimed that FreightWaves was paid in full after the company closed the Series A. FreightWaves, however, declined to comment. 5 days after announcing its Series A funding round, Slink secured a payment protection program loan, the federal government initiative meant for hard-done businesses struggling to meet payroll due to the COVID-19 pandemic. In a revelation by a former staff member, Kirchner allegedly learned that Slink could keep the government-issued loan if it retained its employees, and even though the company was now flush with cash, it applied for the loan. It said it would use the $391,677 to cover the costs of 20 employees. But ironically, that same month, Kirchner purchased a black Ferrari Superfast 812, which retails for between $300,000 and $500,000. In late 2020, Slink announced a $60 million Series B round led by Goldman Sachs. This was followed by a series of high-profile sports sponsorships, including a multi-million-dollar deal with the Dallas Stars. Chris Kirchner claimed that these sponsorships would be beneficial to Slink's marketing strategy, but it was unclear how they related to the core business of logistics technology. These developments also raised questions about the company's financial strategy and direction. In his role as CEO, Kirchner continued to live a lavish lifestyle. More luxury cars followed, a $15 million private jet, with Kirchner even joining the Vaquero, an exclusive country club in Dallas, where an annual golf membership costs over $150,000. He also invested in a European tech startup and attempted to buy the English football team Derby County. Slink.io even paid millions to be the title sponsor for the annual Dubai Desert Classic golf tournament, a deal that only lasted for one edition. Despite the large sponsorship deal for the Dubai Desert Classic, the company's actual marketing budget for its products was much smaller. This led to questions about whether Slink was putting its resources into the right areas and whether the company's priorities were focused on the right things. The company's customer base was small, with only a handful of continually paying customers. While some companies had tried the product, few converted to fully fledged customers. This was concerning given the size of the company's marketing budget. It seemed that Slink was focused more on image than results. But as Kirchner flew around the world on his private jet to play exclusive golf tournaments, meet celebrities, and discuss buying an English football team, his 100 or so employees back in the States were going without pay as he started restraining paychecks. The issue of paychecks retainment became so bad that it caught Forbes' attention. An interview was carried out by Forbes magazine with 13 of Slink's current and old employees. Turns out, Slink's payroll problems were just the beginning of its woes. From the interview, it was suggested that some investors and board members overlooked Slink's lack of transparency with financial matters. Investors like Goldman Sachs and Bloomberg Capital, which had board seats and led funding rounds into Slink totaling $80 million and valuing the company at $240 million, appeared to have taken no action when, on 3 occasions, executives were fired after approaching the board with concerns. According to 6 former employees, central to these concerns was the fact that the CFO and CRO of the company did not have access to all of the company's bank accounts. Instead, it was Kirchner himself who provided quarterly financial reports to the board. Kirchner reported to the board that Slink generated close to $30 million in revenue in 2021 from about 20 customers, while in fact, the real figure was only about $1 million in annual revenue from fewer than 5 customers. However, Jim Atwell, a board member, responded to the claim saying that Slink had more than 5 customers and the company's annual revenue is significantly higher than the prior information, but he refused to state how many or how much. Things continued to get sour as a former executive, Jason Selvage, filed a lawsuit on the company alleging wrongful termination. Selvage claimed he was fired after he sent a letter to the board complaining about how the company has routinely failed to pay employees. He also included that Kirchner had engaged in unlawful and fraudulent behavior. Of course, Slink disagreed and denied that Selvage was fired, but they remained silent on the other complaints, saying the company had not received it yet. Selvage also claimed that the former CFO, Samar Kamdar, had been fired after informing the board that his review of the financial statements indicated that some figures did not add up, as he did not recognize some of the accounts which reported revenue. Kirchner, however, declined any request for an interview, refusing to answer a detailed list of questions. Slink's board also declined to comment on a list of questions about Kirchner's personal ventures and finances. They claimed they were unrelated to the business. In April 2022, he announced plans to pay his employees, but in less than 2 weeks, Kirchner sent a different message apologizing for not paying. Employees continued to receive delayed payments over the next month, and when the employees demanded answers, Kirchner promised after the Series C the money would be distributed. Despite this, he made numerous statements on social media about his wealth and intention to buy Derby County, a team that had gone into bankruptcy. While he claimed to have the necessary funds to purchase the team, the deal ultimately fell through. The failed acquisition and his public statements about his wealth have raised even more questions about the financial health of Slink. At the same time, the lack of payment to his own employees casts doubt on Kirchner's credibility and trustworthiness. Seeing this, some employees concluded that they were duped by a CEO more interested in living a life of excess than building a successful company. An employer in an interview with Forbes even called the company's business a kleptocracy. 3 days after the magazine questioned the company on its failure to pay employees, Slink's board member Atwell said that all employees were being wired funds they were owed. He claimed that the company's failure to pay them was not the result of any funding shortfall, adding that the process to ensure employees received all payroll to which they are entitled was very dynamic. But the next day, 4 current and old employees revealed that they still had not been paid. More allegations of financial impropriety by Kirchner continued to surface. He put his private jet up for sale. He allegedly failed to pay an NHL team for a sponsorship agreement. In addition, he was sued by S Sports and Entertainment Group for an unpaid loan. With the growing scrutiny of Kirchner's financial dealings, the Dubai Desert Classic distanced itself from Slink.io. Subsequently, the board decided it was time to offload Kirchner to save the sinking ship. It initially suspended him, but he retaliated by locking out a number of executives from the company's official communication channels. Months later, Chris Kirchner was fired from his role as CEO and removed from the board of directors which he previously chaired. The board also announced the company's former chief of staff and retired U.S. Army Colonel Timothy F. Kehoe as the interim president. Kirchner had previously drawn parallels between his approach to golf and his approach to business leadership. However, as more information about his alleged financial improprieties came to light, it became increasingly clear that there were some serious flaws in his methods. The allegations of unpaid employees and sponsors suggest that his success may have been a house of cards built on false promises and unsustainable methods. The story of Slink and its founder, Chris Kirchner, is a cautionary tale of the perils of overpromising and under-delivering. The flashy facade of success has begun to crumble, and the company's future remains uncertain. As Kirchner himself once said, it is better to be lucky than good. But perhaps this time, luck is not enough. It is a sobering reminder that even the most promising startups can fall apart when the promises made don't match reality. We would like to hear from you. Let us know what you think in the comments section. Also, like and subscribe to our channel for more.